What is the Single Digital Gateway? The Single Digital Gateway is an access point for citizens and companies who want to live or do business in another EU country. The gateway will enable them to find information about EU and national rules, procedures for complying with these rules, and EU and national assistance services. The new gateway will build on the current Your Europe portal that you may already have heard of. The Your Europe portal will keep its name, but expand in content with the gateway services. How will we work together to implement the regulation? In order to make it work, all levels of government from national to local authorities, as well as the European Commission, will be involved. We will work together with you to make the gateway a reality. Each member state will appoint a national coordinator to synchronize the actions needed from the national, regional and local authorities of their country. The national coordinators and the Commission will work together to exchange best practices and implement an annual work program to keep improving the gateway. What are the main elements of the Single Digital Gateway? The Single Digital Gateway has three main pillars. The first one is information. Users will search and obtain information regarding the rules and rights of the European Union as well as those of the member states. The second pillar is procedures. Users will find out exactly how to carry out procedures and what steps they need to follow. No matter where they live, users will be able to access a wide range of procedures online. The third pillar is assistance services. Users will be able to contact an EU or national help service when they come across a problem during their search or when attempting a procedure. When will the Single Digital Gateway be implemented? The regulation establishing the Single Digital Gateway entered into force in December 2018. 3 different implementation periods will apply. For information and assistance services, the general deadline will be December 2020. Local authorities will enjoy an extra 2 years to implement information services until December 2022. The deadline for digitalizing procedures, for making them fully accessible for cross-border users and for implementing the so-called once-only system will be December 2023. What is needed? Whether it be about information, procedures or assistance, they must always be easy to find. For that purpose, the national coordinators will be asked to provide links to websites with information on national rules relevant for the single market, to websites giving information on related procedures and access to them if they are online, and on a voluntary basis to national assistance services. All these links will be stored in a central repository that the national coordinators and the European Commission will manage. The Commission will develop a new search facility that will only search results among the links in the repository. This way, users will exclusively access reliable sources. To make sure that users from other countries can understand the information, it should be provided also in English. You will be able to request translations within a budgetary limit through a dedicated service offered by the European Commission. Information, procedures and assistance services will be based on high-quality standards. Let's have a look at what that means in practice. Information. First of all, you will need to check in cooperation with the Commission whether your national websites cover all the information on national rules in the areas listed in Annex 1. Once you have filled possible gaps, you need to ensure quality. Quality is vital for the Single Digital Gateway. Verify the information you provide is complete, up-to-date, well-structured and user-friendly. Also, all the information should include contact details to competent authorities and assistance services to guide users in need of help. Procedures. For all procedures that fall within the scope of the Gateway, Annex 1, you will have to provide online information whether the procedure is online or not. The explanation must be presented to users before they identify themselves to start the procedure. This explanation must include the following. Please keep in mind that procedures offered through the Single Digital Gateway have to be accessible to foreign and national users in a similar way. For example, filling in forms, electronic identification or paying fees must work in an equivalent manner for national and foreign users. There is a list of 21 procedures that are considered of key importance to cross-border users. You will have to provide all of these fully online by December 2023. Users will be able to perform every step of the procedure electronically, including identifying themselves, sending documents, and signing requests. Citizens will no longer have to queue and deal with physical paperwork to carry out one of these 21 procedures. The results of these procedures should be delivered in a digital format. Only in exceptional cases can member states oblige users to appear in person to complete a procedure. Member states must justify such exceptions and list them in a special repository so that the Commission and the other countries can check them. The regulation foresees the cross-border implementation of the once-only principle. The once-only principle enables the reuse of information already held by public administrations in Europe in electronic format. To make this work, we will set up together a technical system to carry evidence from one country to another at the request of the user. The once-only principle will apply to all 21 fully online procedures and also to the ones covered by 4 EU directives. The Commission will work together with you within the coordination group to define the technical specifications of the once-only system. These will be set out in an implementing act by mid-2021. Assistance services. Users will be able to contact assistance services online if they come across a problem, are unsure about the information they find, or struggle with the procedure. These services set up through EU law will form part of the gateway as from its launch. Other assistance services can decide to join and become accessible through the gateway. What are the main requirements for these assistance services? They will have to provide precise information online about the service they supply. In addition, they must comply with a list of quality criteria. They must deal with the request within a reasonable time frame. They must inform the user if the deadlines are extended. They must allow cross-border users to easily pay any fees they charge. Ensuring the high quality of the gateway. All services provided through the Single Digital Gateway and carrying the official quality label of the gateway will have to meet the quality criteria. Who will decide if the quality of a service is good enough? Users will. Users will be the driving force for checking the quality of the whole gateway. To allow them to express themselves, you will have 2 options. Option 1, a feedback tool offered by the European Commission for websites of the gateway. And option 2, your own existing feedback tool as long as it produces comparable data. In addition to these feedback tools, anonymous data about web visits will be gathered for all websites on the gateway. The results of the users' feedback and visits will be accessible through a dashboard. Thanks to this dashboard, the national coordinators and the European Commission will easily see what information is missing and where problems need to be solved. Looking forward, measuring the state of the EU single market. Another goal of the Single Digital Gateway is to measure how easy it is for people and companies to live and do business in other EU countries. The European Commission and Member States will use 2 types of information to acquire these insights. First, all participating assistance services will submit, in an aggregated format, information about the topics of requests they deal with. Second, the European Commission will develop an easy-to-use feedback tool about the obstacles users encounter. This tool will be available on relevant websites of the Gateway. The data from these two sources will then be displayed on the dashboard as well as on a public website. This will help policymakers see where they need to take action and remove barriers between EU countries. Let's work together to simplify the life of citizens and businesses who want to live or do business in another EU country by building the Single Digital Gateway.